Or was it this one? Okay, it's just this one.
2 is out, and honestly, I wish I could say I was excited. I really wanted to be excited. Like many 90s babies,
Hi,
I
Shadow.
grew up on Nintendo. They were my very first
Yeah, this is what
games.
she's talking
Not
about.
just the games,
I saw
but
some
feeling
of
them.
the parts.
The wonder, the warmth, the way they pulled you into a world and made it feel like home. Ocarina of Time was the
Nostalgia. A lot of
one
nostalgia.
that really awoke something in me. That opening in Kokiri Forest with the Deku Tree riding a pony.
Well, I didn't grow up playing a lot of games, so some of these games are not very nostalgic for me. But I really like the retro look and stuff. I really like them. Hope you're doing good. Thank you. I hope you're doing good too. You said they're doing a free promo for the game where they give you a free Pokemon with a Mega Stone in game when you buy it. Free promo for the game where they give you with a Mega when you buy it. Like, you mean like pre-order? Yeah, I think there was I think they're gonna give out something if you pre-order it right now. I think from what I've heard, I forgot what it was, but they're gonna give you something. So yeah, if you guys pre-ordered the new Pokemon game right now, I think they're gonna give you like some. No, they're not gonna give you skill issue. They're gonna give you a new Pokemon, a starter Pokemon or something. Yeah.
It all felt so massive, like a real world was tucked inside a little cartridge. And then Majora's Mask came along, and my little self had never felt such anxiety. That eerie moon, the ticking clock, the emotional side quests that made you care so much in so little time. It was the very first game that made me feel something beyond just fun. It was sad, confusing, kind of strange at times, and very deep. It wasn't just Zelda. I was obsessed with Super Mario 64, running wild through Peach's castle, jumping into paintings, discovering every secret star. That game felt like true freedom. And then there were classics like Kirby's Dream Land, Yoshi's Story, Donkey Kong 64.
Has anybody played any of these games? Has anybody played them?
For Star Fox, Metroid Prime, all completely different.
Metroid Prime, I hear is really good.
And every one of them had a vibe, a soul, that Nintendo spark that made it feel like you weren't just playing, you were being let in on something very special. And then my parents bought me the original DS, and just like that, the whole thing was cracked wide open for me. That's how I found Animal Crossing.
Ooh, wait,
Wild
Nintendo
World.
DS. I used to have Nintendo DS. I think a DS Lite. I think I had a pink and a white one. I think I had a white one. Then my aunt got a pink one. She didn't want it, so she gave it to me. So I ended up having two. But then I gave the pink one to my little sister. I don't know where it is right now.
And I was hooked. I spent hours in that little village,
DS.
rearranging furniture, writing letters, fishing for red snappers, and visiting my best friend's town during our weekly sleepovers. Even now, just hearing the soundtrack makes me very emotional. It takes me right back to those quiet, cozy afternoons after school, all curled up with that clunky silver DS with nowhere else that I needed to be. Truly the epitome of nostalgia. I didn't know it then, but those games were helping to shape how I saw everything. Stories, characters, even myself. And for a while, it really felt like Nintendo understood how to make something that mattered. And it didn't stop there. I basically owned every major Nintendo console, starting with the N64, GameCube, Wii, DS, 3DS, even the Wii U, which...
Wait, was the oldest one Nintendo 64? Was that like the oldest Nintendo game stuff? Was it Nintendo 64? Right, I think?
In my humble opinion, was ahead of its time, by the way. But I owned all of them. And when the Switch was announced with Breath of the Wild, I was beyond excited. Like, very cringely crying at the announcement trailer excited. As a Zelda fan, it was everything I'd ever wanted in a game, and to this day, it is still one of my favorites. That launch brought back so much of the old magic, which is probably why I held on for so long, and I even wanted to work for them. Like, genuinely. I applied to corporate Nintendo PR jobs probably 15 to 20 times. I'm not even exaggerating. Back in 2019, I was pursuing PR, and when I got the opportunity to go to E3 that year, the very last E3, by the way, I actually spoke with a Nintendo PR team in person. It was magical. The Nintendo section of the event was so overwhelming and electric, and I remember thinking, this is it. This is what I want, and this is what I want to be a part of. So please, hear me out. What we are about to discuss isn't coming from someone who's out to bash Nintendo. This is coming from someone who genuinely, wholeheartedly, even at times, very cringely loved Nintendo
Okay.
and their games, and really believed in what I thought they stood for. But over time, I've started to realize that maybe Nintendo isn't the company I thought they were. What I've seen over the last few years is that my nostalgia goggles have been working overtime, and they've kept me from really seeing the true nature of a company
Yeah, I
that
love
once
Nintendo
held so dear
too.
to my heart. So, let's dive in. And let's start with the release of the Switch 2. It's officially out now, and sales are booming. Records are being broken.
Anybody gonna get Nintendo Switch 2? It's so expensive though. It makes me really want to hesitate.
And over 3 million units were sold worldwide on release day.
3
People are also
million?
loving Mario Kart World, and I'm genuinely very happy.
They keep coming out with Mario Kart World. Mario Kart, give us new games. Can there be like newer games instead of Mario all the time?
For them. Yes, the game looks like a lot of fun. I just wish I felt something.
Like, I don't mind more Mario games, but like Mario Kart again. We already have a lot of Mario Kart, right? The world looks amazing. Has anybody played it?
Because more than anything, I just feel tired. At $450 or $500 if you get it bundled with Mario Kart World, this doesn't feel like a celebration of the next chapter. It feels like Nintendo seeing how far they can stretch our loyalty, how much they can charge us for something that isn't even new, just a little bit newer. And
yes, why do they charge it so much? Brother, it keeps going up, chat. The prices keep going up. Like what? They're trying to test our loyalty. What the heck?
listen, I'm not here to crap on Mario Kart. I actually really like Mario Kart. I do. It's one of those comfort games that's always been there, and it's attached to so many fond memories of playing with friends and family. But even though it looks fun, when
Mario Kart 8 chat, not 1, not 2, but 8.
that's the flagship title for a brand new console launch, I don't know, I personally just couldn't get behind the hype. It feels kind of boring, safe, predictable. Nintendo isn't asking, hey, what's possible here? They're asking, what can we get away with? Because $80 for Mario Kart World, that's not just a new number. It's a shift in how this industry treats its players. And what surprises me, even though it shouldn't at this point, is that it's Nintendo of all companies ushering in this new pricing standard. This wasn't them reluctantly following a trend that I know was inevitable, but this was them.
They're feeding off of our money. They're feeding off of her
leading the charge, setting a precedent, establishing $80 as the new normal, and not with some expansive, genre-pushing new experience, but with an exact game formula that we've literally seen 16 times at this point. And it makes you ask,
oh my God,
why? Because meanwhile, I'm looking at games like Helldivers 2, Hi-Fi Rush, Lies of P, Remnant 2, Clair Obscur, Baldur's Gate 3, and so many more. Games that have real creative vision, some with massive campaigns, even some with fleshed out co-op systems, launching at or below $60. And many of these games are taking risks and really pushing boundaries, and somehow they're still finding a way to be more accessible. So when Nintendo drops a new console and leads with yet another Mario Kart at a higher price than ever before, it doesn't feel like they're honoring their legacy. It feels like they're monetizing it, like they're using it against us. Actually,
Nintendo is really good at going after like the nostalgia idea of things. Like is how they keep you guys there, is how they keep their audience. And that's why they're a very big competitor in like amongst like PlayStation and everything. Nintendo is a very big competitor, even though it doesn't look like it. But they know how to like keep their audience. Everyone thinks they're like just like some kind of like some like it's like a toy company or something, because like always coming out with like merch and everything and stuff, but it's actually a very big, very strong competitor in the game world, apparently. Hi Envy, we're just doing some reaction. We did some reaction to like the new Pokemon Nintendo game that's coming out, and then we're talking about how like everything is so everything is so expensive, and where she's talking about why and what's going on, like I just like, yeah, Nintendo, the prices keep going up. I think nowadays is like $80 or something for the physical. 90, I think someone in chat said it was like $90, and then usually it's like $30 or $60. Now it's like it just keeps going up every single time.
kind of feels like a slap in the face that stings pretty badly. And
Thank you so much
yes,
for the
to be fair,
follow.
the Switch 2 is a technical upgrade. 4K visuals, better battery, smoother performance, more storage, it's all technically better on paper. But it doesn't feel like a new era. It seems like a slightly fancier version
Thank you.
of something that we already had. And for me personally, this realization of who Nintendo is not like a sudden moment of awakening. I've quietly been stepping back from them for a while now. And not because I stopped loving their games, but because I started seeing the patterns, the choices, and the shifts. And at this point, it's pretty clear that this Switch 2 release is not just about a new price tag or a genuine attempt at launching something new, it's just another step in the same pattern that's been repeating for years. Back in the
It's a kind of a business tactic, you know. In order to sell your product, you gotta know your audience, and their audience, meaning me or everyone, they love nostalgia stuff. That's why Nintendo was able to keep them. Yeah. Yeah, streamers do community games. Yeah. Maybe not Mario Kart though. I'm kind of bad at Mario Kart, but we could play like Pokemon together. If you guys buy the new Pokemon game and stuff, or we can still play Pokemon Violet as well. Yeah, instead of fixing the bug on like Mario Kart or something, like improving the game, they instead make another one, Mario Kart 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What the heck? If only people would just hold out at least a month after release before buying. But I don't think they're ever gonna like lower the price as well. You know, like I don't know. Are they ever gonna lower the price? Because $90 is a lot, to be honest. $80 and $90. Do we play Fast and Furious in here? I would only play horror games if it's with like a friend or someone, you know, or if it's like a collab. I'm very bad with horror games, but I like childlike horror games like Bendy's, Little Nightmares. I haven't played Friday Nights at Freddy's yet, but I'm thinking about it. And also and I don't know, that new toy game I totally forgot, but it's like a childlike horror game. But yeah, I forgot what it is. I think that was Friday Nights at Freddy's, right? I think, yeah. But we have someone here who plays Phasmophobia, Captain, right? Right, Captain. Update game release is a new game. You just get a new game. Just update the price. All about the price.
This used to be the company that took risks, that made magic, that redefined entire genres and invited us into something truly special. But now, kind of just seems like they're relying on the fact that we'll show up no matter.
People think it's a toy company. You see, people think. Wait, hold on. Where is it? Wait.
And invited us into something truly special. But now,
people think it's all just a toy company, but no, Nintendo's actually a very big competitor.
It just seems like they're relying on the fact that we'll show up no matter what, even though they are so often very anti-consumer. It's because they know our nostalgia runs incredibly deep, and the more I've seen it, the harder it has been to unsee. Nintendo has mastered something I can only describe as weaponized nostalgia. They've turned our childhood memories into a soulless business model, and the part that really hurts is that it works. It worked on me for so long. I've been the Nintendo fangirl who's bought the remakes, re-releases, and updated ports, even though I knew deep down that what they were offering was not anything new. And looking back on it, I don't know. I guess it was because I didn't feel like I was buying a game. It felt like I was buying a memory.
Hippie, thank you so much for the sub. Thank you.
They know that we remember how it felt to blast through alien worlds.
I haven't really played the old Zelda games, but I played 2 Zelda games so far. Was it called Tears of the Kingdom? No. Yeah, Tears of the Kingdom, and what was the other one? Breath of the Wild. Those 2 are really fun. I initially played them because I like puzzles and stuff, because, you know, I'm also a math major, aside from being going for my nursing major right now. But I love puzzles. But then when I played, the game was actually really fun. I loved it so much. Yeah, Zelda is actually a really fun game.
And Metroid Prime, or how it felt to spend hours raising your perfect Nintendo like it was your actual childhood pet. They know.
Here, I bought Nintendo Switch. I bought Nintendo DS Lite before because of this Nintendo Dogs game back in the day. I guess I really like Nintendogs, and I think I also got Cooking Mama. I think I got Cooking Mama as well. So I miss my Nintendo DS so much right now. Oh my god, I miss it so much.
Oh, we feel these
This is totally a game, chat. This is Nintendo Docs is definitely a game, okay?
titles
I don't want
in
to
a
hear
way
it. I don't want to hear it. It's a game. It's a game.
that goes beyond gameplay.
Definitely
They
a
have
game.
perfected the art of re-releasing titles, sometimes only mildly updated at full price, locking legacy content behind paywalls and subscriptions, and offering nostalgia not as a gift, but as a heartless transaction. And just a quick side note that I found out while I was writing out this video. Do you want to talk about Heartless? Because I just found out that Nintendo actually
Heartless?
replaced the voice actress for Princess Peach.
They replaced the voice actress for Princess Peach. Oh, top 10 anime betrayals. No, what? What? Why they do that? What? You're a psych major? Oh, that's amazing. I wanted to be a psych major, but I wasn't sure. Two of my younger siblings were actually going to be psych majors, so I'm like, I wanted to do something more different, you know? I like with psychology, you just sit there and you listen to people talk and stuff. I think I like more of like the active saving lives kind of thing. So I went for medical, went for nursing and stuff. I don't know, I thought about going to medical school one day too, but we'll see. Nintendo Dogs like yeah, it's still a game. It's still a game. Nintendo Dogs is definitely like Tamagotchi, but you get to pet them and stuff. Definitely a game, chat. It's not your typical Souls game. It's definitely a game. Do you make music? I'm very bad at singing though. Yeah. I think I just need to get like I need to get like a voice coach. I think I just need to get a voice coach. I like to sing though, for sure. Yeah, why did they replace it? What?
After 18 years, and they didn't even tell her. She found out what the rest of
They didn't tell her. She found out. They didn't tell her.
the world when the new Mario Kart game came out. Like, that's actually insane. But anyway, to get back on track, there's always been a
They didn't tell her. She found out. What? Top 10 anime
huge
betrayals.
difference between celebrating fan love and exploiting it. And for me, it seems like Nintendo has lived long enough to finally see themselves become the villain. So moving on from the Switch to release, at some point, I started looking at how Nintendo treats the people who love their games. And what I found honestly broke my heart a little bit, because Nintendo doesn't just protect its legacy, they police it. Let's start with content creators.
police
this is
it?
nothing new.
Oh yeah,
For many
they
years now,
police it.
Nintendo has been going
They police it. Yeah, like remember Power World? Anybody remember Power World? Nintendo went after Power World. What the heck? What the heck? So they were able to win some parts, like throwing the Pokeball in Power World, but everything else, like they didn't really they couldn't really control Power World. But the only part where it was like the throwing the ball or something in Power, they kind of copyright that. Like what the heck? You said I took my behavioral and got my degree to aid in gang prevention and drug and alcohol abuse. I love that. That's amazing. I love that so much. I signed an artist and I mixed and mastered. For any help, I got you. Aw, thank you. You're so sweet. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. Yeah, sorry if my voice is a little dry right now. I just woke up. Definitely need to drink some water. I woke up like an hour ago, so I'm like, what? It's still a little drowsy.
going after them. Streamers, YouTubers, musicians, for doing what, honestly, most other gaming companies celebrate, sharing their love for the brand and its IP. Somehow, I managed to kind of turn a blind eye to most of this until the Point Crow situation. He was a YouTuber who was making these really incredible Breath of the Wild mod videos. Fun, creative, and totally original. And then one day, Nintendo claimed and struck 27 videos. No warning, no conversation, just straight up attack.
Wait, go
and
back?
It wasn't just his
what?
Breath of the Wild IP. Somehow, I managed to kind of turn a blind eye to most of this until the Point Crow situation. He was a YouTuber who was making these really incredible Breath of the Wild mod videos. Fun, creative, and
Wait, Breath of the Wild mod videos? What do you mean mod videos? Like he changed it? Won't Nintendo break your Switch if you? I don't know. Would they? Would they? I think they would. Like, what can't they not do? Right? What can't they do? TSKR. What's TSKR? It's copyright flying too. What the heck? What's wrong with Nintendo?
Totally original. And then one day, Nintendo claimed and struck 27 videos. No warning, no conversation, just straight up attacked. And it wasn't just his Breath of the Wild mods, it was any content that featured them, including other creators who had collaborated with him. It all got wiped out like a purge.
So he's playing Nintendo games. He's basically advertising the games, showing the game to the world. Why would Nintendo struck it down? That is so weird. Don't you want your business to expand and get more audience and views and stuff? Like, he's a YouTuber. He's basically playing your game to help, let people know about the game. Like, that's helping you. Why would you attack? Oh my god, why would you attack your players? What? Yeah, the copyright flag and also the throwing throwing the ball in power. Like, why would you copyright? That is so weird to me. Like, what the heck? People have made mods and hints beauty. Oh, I never knew you can mod those games. Interesting. The Swims and Cats, they don't need marketing. Yeah, you're right. Maybe that's why they aren't afraid to like tackle all these people. Business is all just business. It's all just business. Oh my god. Tatsu cards like, thank you very much. You're a lifesaver. Aw, it's so sweet. They saw it as modifying the game. Do you get some Nintendo experience? That's my guess. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a modded Nintendo game before, so it's like really interesting to me.
Me pause, because these weren't leaks and they weren't made to be malicious. It really was just fan content that was made out of love. And Nintendo really cracked down on it like it was a threat. And this was not an isolated case. One that has really stuck with me was Gilvasunner. And if you didn't know, Gilvasunner's channel used to be one of the only places online where you could find full Nintendo soundtracks. For years, Nintendo basically had these locked up very tight unless you were able to purchase a physical CD from Nintendo themselves. They weren't on Spotify, Apple Music, Nintendo's YouTube channel, no official platform to listen to any of it.
Not even Spotify? What? So this guy's channel was all about Nintendo music. So he's basically advertising the game. He's helping the company, is he not? Is he not?
And Gilva wasn't even trying to profit from this. There were no ads or monetization, just the original music.
Hi Anthony. I love having you here too. It's nice to see everyone today. Hope you're all having a lovely Sunday so far. I just woke up, so I'm like, let's do some reaction. And then we'll be playing the game soon.
Music uploaded for fans who wanted to relive the moments those songs came from. It was really a gift to the community. And then it was gone. Nintendo initially sent over 1,300 takedown notices, and after that, it was followed by another 2,200. The entire channel was essentially wiped out, and Gilva closed up shop. And I know this might sound a little bit dramatic, but that was kind of a big turning point for me when it came to how I viewed them. Just a little side note slash confession, but as a former Disney adult who has learned the error of her ways, I feel pretty qualified to say this.
Wait, why'd you say former Disney adult? Do you not like Disney anymore? Why'd she say that?
Nintendo really is the Disney of gaming. They're wholesome on the surface, very full of magic and memories, but underneath there's a very quiet, corporate, malicious control. And both companies know how to tug at your childhood heartstrings while handing out copyright strikes and ulterior motives on them.
Business people, business and companies all about making money. Even in the hospital, I hear stories like there's rules in the hospital too. You can't just save everyone as well. Sometimes you gotta follow like the hospital. Sometimes it's all about money for these companies. Even the hospital was meant to save lives. It's also a company. Yeah, they're all about making money too.
On the side. At the time I was watching this unfold, the more I sat with what happened to Gylfasunner, the more it made me wonder, why is Nintendo's music so locked away to begin with? These soundtracks have some of the most iconic songs in gaming.
Yeah,
they were
it's so
emotional,
good to listen to.
timeless, and they were very deeply personal for so many of us. And like I said earlier, Animal Crossing Wild World was my comfort game. And yet, at the time, there was basically no way for me to go listen to it legally. It felt like Nintendo had locked away their history in a vault, and they just would not let anyone open it up. And from there, I started noticing so many other examples. Fan games getting shut down, community passion projects being wiped out, and listen, I get it. IP protection is legally within their right, but it all just felt like they were going out of their way to crack down on this, acting very aggressive, cold, and even heartless. Especially when you look around at many other companies, Sega, Capcom, Xbox, PlayStation, even some indie studios, and you see them amplifying creators, lifting them up, letting the fans be a part of the legacy.
Yes, we love that.
Nintendo doesn't really do that. They continue to pull the plug again and again, and over time, I started wondering if maybe I had just been giving them the benefit of the doubt simply because I grew up loving them. So at this point, after the Gylfasunner takedown, I had already started to feel uneasy. The creator takedowns, the fan projects, the legacy content, it was all feeling a lot more controlling than caring. But the moment that truly stopped me in my tracks was when I heard the story of Gary Bowser. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't even know about any of this until I listened to an episode of Darknet Diaries, which, by the way, Jack does an incredible job explaining all of this. I'll link it in the description for you. Now, I obviously knew at this point Nintendo could be very protective of their IP, but this was on a whole other level. Gary was a part of a group called Team Executor, and what they did was build and sell mod chips, little pieces of hardware that you could install in your Nintendo consoles to run homebrew apps, custom firmware, and yes, pirated games. But people also use those mods for stuff that wasn't necessarily piracy. They used it to run backups of games they already owned, or just experiment with the system for their own personal use, things that were really never going to be available.
You said same thing in jail. It's not about rehabilitation. It's just money, which is sad. When I did time, even the guards were making money. Yeah, I think I've heard stories of like, if you want to be treated well in jail, you have to have money too. It's all nowadays. It's all about money. The economy, everything is. The prices are going up. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. Will it ever get better? Will it ever get better?
Through Nintendo directly. Gary essentially became the fall guy for the entire organization, and Nintendo came down on him in a way that was very extreme.
Wait, don't tell me.
Gary was arrested at gunpoint in the Dominican Republic and extradited to the US by...
He was what at gunpoint? Wait, what was that Nintendo's doing? He was what at gunpoint? At gunpoint? What? Wait, don't tell me his channel is gone. I was gonna check him out later.
2022, he'd been sentenced to 3 years in prison and ordered to pay
3 years in prison? Why?
$18.5 million in damages, $4.5 million in restitution, and then another $10 million from a civil suit. And after he got out early, he still...
$10 million from a civil suit from Nintendo? Nintendo?
Owed all of it, and he started paying Nintendo back 25 to 30% of his monthly income, which at one point was just $25 a month from his prison library job. He'll basically be paying them for the rest of his life. When I heard that, my stomach...
What? Nintendo? Hello? What? At gunpoint, 3 years in jail, owing millions and millions of dollars to Nintendo? Wait, what did he do again? What? Why? Nintendo gunpoint? What?
Mic dropped. I genuinely felt heartbroken for him. Yes, what he and the rest of the team were doing was illegal, and they did profit off of it, but Gary was just one man.
Oh, he did the modding. He was modding the game. Just for modding Nintendo's games, he got 3 years in prison and at gunpoint. He got caught at gunpoint, and he owed millions of dollars in civil lawsuits. Oh my lord.
And are we really saying the punishment fits the crime here? Because whatever legal lines were crossed, this felt less like justice and more like hatred and wrath. And not just for what he did, but for daring to even touch Nintendo's closed system. And the part that really got me with this is Nintendo tried to get Sony and Microsoft to back them up here, to join the lawsuit and make it a united front against piracy. Both companies said no. Both Sony and Xbox, billion-dollar publishers and their
Wait, so Nintendo wanted to bring PlayStation and Xbox, the other two biggest gaming companies, to join them in tackling piracy, and they said no. Why?
their own right, refused to be a part of it. Even they seemed to think that it was too far. And again, I am not here to outright defend piracy. Really, there's a whole conversation.
Also, even those companies thinks Nintendo is going too far. Jesus Christ. That guy modding the game on, was he on YouTube or something? Modding the game 3 years in prison. Mind blown. Nintendo is so scary, Chad. Now I'm scared. What the heck? Bro, a felon over modding. Yeah, over modding a game from Nintendo. They're scary, guys. They are scary people. Hi, Anthony. There's so many reasons why I play PS5 more than my Switch. Yeah,
look, I'm about access, preservation, and ethics, but this felt incredibly cruel and predatory. Nintendo did not just want to stop Gary from what he was doing. They wanted to make him an example. And for me, this was the defining moment when I knew Nintendo was no longer the company that I had loved for decades. And if you thought Gary Bowser's case was just a one-off or a legal overreach in a rare situation, it wasn't, because...
Wait, his last name was actually Bowser? Gary Bowser? Bowser, like the Nintendo character?
It's not long after that, Nintendo set its sights on something much bigger and arguably much more telling. You might have already guessed it, but I'm talking about Palworld. You probably remember one of the very weird, chaotic blend of Pokemon-style creature collecting and open-world survival mechanics.
I loved Palworld.
It was very messy, it was wild, but it was so much fun. People were very obsessed, myself included. And yes, come on, it clearly was inspired by Pokemon. That's not a secret. You could throw a spear, you could collect little pals, you ride them.
It's basically, to me, I think Power is basically like Pokemon but with guns. Pokemon with guns.
Battle them. It was Pokemon adjacent, absolutely. But here's the thing. It wasn't a copy. The characters were different. The art direction, tone, many mechanics were different. It took a very familiar genre and gave it a bold, slightly unhinged twist. And for the first time in years, fans were saying, why doesn't Nintendo try stuff like this? Instead of taking that feedback in stride, instead of rising to the challenge, listening, learning, evolving, Nintendo did what they've been doing for a while now. They sued. Together with the Pokemon...
Instead of learning to improve their Pokemon style games, they sue Palworld. Yo, these guys just don't care. I feel like these guys, they just don't care.
One company, they filed a patent infringement lawsuit against the Palworld dev team. Not over character design, surprisingly, not even over branding, but over mechanics. Things like throwing a Pal Spear to catch creatures, using them in combat, riding them across the world. And because of all of this, the Palworld team had to actually go in and change all of those features. They stripped out mechanics that players loved, not because they were unethical, but because they simply couldn't defend themselves against a...
You said Pokemon is not... Power is not a Pokemon ripoff, it's an Arc ripoff. Arc like the game Arc? Wait, I think I saw someone play Arc before, but I've never played Arc. I don't think I've ever played Arc yet. Interesting. So Arc is kind of like that? Huh, interesting. I mean, I've never really thought of it as a ripoff. I just think it has its own style, to be honest. Sure, some of the animals, some of the pals look like Pokemon, but it's kind of like Digimon and all those other genres of that has like little cute cartoon animals. You know, like I never really thought it was kind of a ripoff, but then I thought the throwing Pokeball in the Palworld thing was, you know, it's like a normal thing. Any game can have it, but apparently Nintendo had to say, "Oh, we own that mechanic." Like, what the heck?
illegal juggernaut. And just like with the Gary Bowser case, Nintendo tried to bring other companies into the fight. Sony and Microsoft were purportedly approached to back them again here, and again, they declined. They did not want to be a part of it. And all of this says a lot, because this could have been a big moment for Nintendo, a wake-up call, an opportunity for the
Also, why don't they just collab? If Power is so big, why won't Nintendo? No, why won't Pokemon and Power kind of do a collab? Wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't that uplift their business more? Wouldn't it? Right? Arc has the same blueprint building. Now you guys are making me interested in Arc. I thought it was just kind of like Final Fantasy kind of thing. I didn't know there was like similar to Power World. Interesting.
them to ask, what is it that people are responding to? Why are they so excited about this? What can we learn from this? But instead of innovation, they chose litigation. And to me, it was not a stand for creativity or IP protection. The Pokemon formula has been around for literally 30 years. We all know what it is and where it comes from. And Power World was not going to change that. No. This was Nintendo being a bully and swinging at...
You said you can... Alright, Raja, no worries. I hope you have a wonderful sleep. Thank you so much for coming by. I really appreciate you. Yeah, don't worry about it. No, Ark is not an RPG. It's not an RPG. Survival game. You build a base, tame dinos. Is a dino game, fight bosses. Now I'm interested, chat. Ark, Lost Ark. Oh yeah. My friend was playing Lost. I think it was Hannah. Hannah was playing Lost Ark. Wait, yeah, I thought Lost Ark. That's like Final Fantasy 14, right? That's the one I was thinking of. I didn't know there was another Ark. There was another Ark game. What? Yeah, dinosaurs. What?
Anything that threatened the comfort of their complacency. They had an opportunity to grow, to evolve, to take advantage of someone already laying the groundwork for them, but instead, they chose violence. And after everything, the creator takedowns, the lawsuits, the silencing of innovation, you think maybe Nintendo would at least try to get one thing right. Their legacy. I remember when Nintendo Online
hold on.
They chose violence. And after
Something about the Zelda?
The creator takedown.
Nintendo's 10 most infamous shutdowns of fan games. No Mario Sky. No Man's Sky, no Mario Sky. Oh, these are modded games, is it not? No Mario Sky, what?
The lawsuits, the silencing of innovation.
Nintendo shuts down live-action Zelda fan film. But aren't they making a new live-action Zelda film? Aren't they making another live-action? Oh my god! Everyone says it's going to be bad, but I'm like, I'm curious. Is it really gonna be that bad?
You think maybe Nintendo would at least try to get one thing right. Their legacy. I remember when Nintendo Online was first announced. It sounded like such a win, a way to legally revisit classic titles, play old favorites, dive back into the library that built up this brand. And at first, I was so hopeful, but the reality has been frustrating at best. Games get added randomly. Some months it's not much. Other months it's one obscure NES title no one really asked for. Entire consoles
no one really asked for.
N64.
Mario Kart 10, Mario Kart 11. Nobody really asked for. Oh my god, so funny. The easier approach Nintendo could have done was buy Power and adapt it. Yeah, they could have collabed and stuff. Like that would be such a good thing, you know?
Still feel incomplete, and sometimes titles will just disappear without warning or explanation. They're just gone. And now, with the launch of the Switch 2, I thought maybe they would just try to clean things up a bit. GameCube has finally joined the retro lineup, which is very awesome, but they only added 3 games at launch: Wind Waker, Soul Calibur 2, and F-Zero GX. Like, yeah, that's a cool trio, I guess, but it's also pretty bare bones for a console with so many legendary titles. And yes, I know more are coming, but why launch with so few? Why not take the easy win here and give your fans what they've been begging you for years? Beyond the catalog, the performance isn't always there either. Sometimes there's lag, some games have awkward control schemes, others don't support cloud saves. It doesn't really feel like a premium service. It feels like something Nintendo begrudgingly maintains, and definitely not something that they can be proud of. The thing is I've always wanted to support something like this. I actually am very happy to pay to play these games.
So why won't they fix it? Like all the lags and stuff. Why won't they fix it instead of coming out with new games? This is probably a previous project. I'm hoping they're not referring to the fan made The Legend of Zelda: Sage of Darkness, which was filmed back in 2006, a little after the time when Zelda Twilight Princess came out. Huh? Wait, aren't they making a new Zelda film? I'm so curious. Wait, is it still going on after all this Snow White controversy? Is it still going on? Live action? Didn't I think they canceled the live action for what was that, the Disney Tangled Rapunzel? They were going to make one with that one too. It was like, oh my god. I wouldn't suggest Ark Survival Evolved right now because there's a drama with the publisher. There's another drama with the Ark Survival Evolved. That's Lost. Wait, is that Lost Ark? Or wait, is that another Ark game? Because Nintendo hates money. You mean loves money? They love money so much.
Games legally. I want to revisit the titles that shaped me in a clean, easy way, but Nintendo has made it so hard. It's like they're sitting on this treasure trove of nostalgia, this very beautiful, powerful legacy, and instead of sharing it or celebrating it with us, they keep it to themselves and withhold it. They kind of hold it over us like drugs, honestly, banking on the fact that we'll continue to play the part of the willing addicts who will be so happy for even the tiniest drop. It really is heartbreaking, but at this point, I'm not even really mad about it. I'm just tired and maybe still a little bit sad. Now, again, to be clear, this video is not meant to shame anybody. If you bought the Switch 2 or you're a part of Nintendo Online and you're loving it, I think that's great, truly. I am not here to steal joy away from anyone. This video really is just to talk about how I can't ignore how much my own relationship with Nintendo has changed over the years. And I don't love them anymore. Not the company, not like I used to. And that's difficult to say out loud because I grew up on these games. I spent summers chasing stars in Mario 64, winters decorating my Animal Crossing home, racing my siblings in Mario Kart, riding Epona across Hyrule Field like it was the most magical thing in the world. And for me, these were not just games. They were a part of my childhood. And that's why all of this hurts so much, because the company that once led with a full heart and love for gaming feels...
Not gonna lie, like some of the Nintendo games are actually really fun too, but it's just the company itself, like they're so strict on everything. It's just... And then the prices keep going up, like... I mean, Nintendo Switch 2 is an improvement, but then what's with all the other consoles and... Not consoles, like video games and stuff, is like, what? Gamer, thank you so much for the raid. How's your stream? What did you do today? No, hey, you play Wu Chang? How is it? Welcome, readers, welcome in. How is it? Did you like it? Wait, what boss are you on right now? No.
It's like it's running on autopilot, giving us the
Hi,
absolute bare minimum. Comfortable, safe, lazy, greedy. We're getting less and paying more. And look, the industry as a whole is a bit of a mess right now, but it's still fair for us to ask for better, to feel valued as customers, to want these companies to care. And
wait, was playing Wu Chang having a lot of fun with it? Yeah, Wu Chang is actually really fun. But if I had to compare it to like Stellar Blade, I think Stellar Blade is actually a lot more fun than Wu Chang, but Wu Chang in itself is actually really fun as well. I think I'm on like the 5th boss. What? Wait, how many bosses have you beaten so far? I think there were like 9 main bosses you have to beat in the game. Hi, please. I actually woke up so late because I did homework all night last night, and I fell asleep in bed with my laptop right next to me while I was studying, and I overslept this morning, so I was a little late. Yeah, we're just bank accounts. Exactly. What's wrong with Nintendo?
For a long time, I really believed that Nintendo did, that they were different, that they stood for something. But now it's hard to see how that could still be true. I always joke that my relationship with Nintendo is super toxic because even after all of this, even after how I've seen how they treat their consumers and fans, part of me still hopes that they'll change because they could. It really would be so easy. If they wanted to, they could be the company that supports creators instead of silencing them, shares their legacy instead of locking it away, prioritizes joy over control, and evolves.
What's Iwata? Nintendo changed too much after what's Iwata? This big video game company pushed me to have an actual life in real life. Time to touch grass. What the heck?
Instead of punishing innovation. I really would love nothing more than to fall back in love with them. But right now, it just seems like Nintendo is going to keep being Nintendo. Just very stuck and too happy to stay that way. The love that I once had for them was so real, and the magic really mattered.
The former
but
CEO
the company
of
behind
Nintendo?
that magic, it feels further away than ever. If you made it to the end of this video, seriously, thank you so much, and I would love to hear your story. What made you fall in love with Nintendo? Are you still in love with them? Or have you also had a bit of a breakup with them like me? Let me know in the comments, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.